Shout out to Franco and anyone else that is stuck at home and playing along from home. Had an email from one of your classmates about accessing the class videos. Apparently, security settings are a little weird on your Chromebooks. If you can't get to a YouTube video from your school Chromebook, use a parent's device, use your phone, use something. But remember, every single class we have is recorded. So if you are confused or if you missed something, go check that out. Also, Math Lunch. I normally record Math Lunch when we're working on homework. So if you need to check your answers anymore, go look at the video. That'll be the first thing in the video for today. If you need help, I will see you at Math Lunch. Right? We eat and do math. It's great. We get stuff done. Today, there's no new homework to give people a breather to catch your breath and get caught up if you need to. Also, I know I had assigned homework on Friday, and that's not always cool. And it's because today we are doing a really sweet activity. So go to student.desmos.com. Ooh. Are you guys already in? Did I already turn this on for you? It looks like you're already in. Like 19 of you. All right, so 4.1.2, build your house is what you're looking for. 4.1.2, build your house. And I might ask Miss Martin help me because the copier needs those papers, but it stopped stapling. I don't know why. So, yeah, if you're ready to turn in the homework, you can go ahead and take it up to the bin. I'm giving you graph paper. We'll talk about why in a moment. So student.desmos.com. So student, and it might start filling it in for you. Now we're going to go step by step, and I may actually pace this activity so you can't go faster than me. If your two papers aren't stapled or aren't hole punched, actually I'm probably going to try to hole punch some of them. Right, that's the hard part with this one. It's not happening. Right, these are all facing right. That or they're struggling to get into it, right? Alright. If these are not stapled, that's totally fine. You might actually be happier with them not being stapled. Anybody able to see what's weird about the graph paper that I have attached on this packet? It's what? Yeah, now the one line is just weird because the copier, and actually I think it was because the print, so the one dark line going across the graph paper is just kind of out of place, but this is what we call weighted graph paper. Weighted graph paper has a bold line every so often. So hey, here's why I love Desmos. Pause. So, with this activity, I'm going to pause you whenever I decide we need to pause and talk. Yeah, you're going to be upset. That's okay. It's because you're actually having fun doing math. But everyone look at the worksheet. Everyone put your name on your worksheet right now because I bet some of you didn't. Name, date, first name, and last name. Letter group, I kind of stopped asking you for because I don't tend to use letter groups all that often. Darn it, Amanda. I had your version. I just forgot. All right, here's the deal. This graph paper is weighted 5 by 5, meaning every 5 boxes is thicker. But what that's going to mean is when we go to draw it, and I have these directions written down, we need to try to make the weights of the lines work with the weights on our paper, right? Taking the, like, what's on the computer and transferring it. So what I mean by that, I gotta get back to my student view. That doesn't show you guys. All right, check it. See how on the computer some of these lines are thicker? Yeah. When you go to draw your house on your graph paper, you're gonna start your top left corner in the appropriate spot compared to your line weights, and then we're gonna count from there. So if this is how big I leave my house, when I go over to my graph paper, and guys, I would ignore this line. I would work beneath this weird, I don't know why that line happened. That's just like a copy machine thing. So you can put your title up here if you want. You could write like Home Design Challenge, but it's already up here in the header. Whatever. I would come down here somewhere so you're away from that awkward line. How far up and over should we be from the weights to make it match what's on the computer? Well, it looks like it's 4 and 4, right? 4 over and 4 up for the corner of my lot. Or guys, you can kind of come 1 down and 1 over, because this would be the other thicker part. So the corner of our lots, I believe that all of us should have the corner of our lot at relatively the same spot. And the lot is the piece of property. When we use the word lot, a lot is a chunk of property. Miss Martin, let me know if he needs added to the class. All right, so go ahead. I unpaused you guys. So we're going to sketch out our lot. Right, so this is going to take some time. If you want to grab a ruler, that would probably be a really good idea. I'm going to take a moment and make sure that we're all in Desmos correctly. Yeah, Jesus, I see you in here now. Guys, we are not going fast. Hey, Lucas, are you in? Ah, you're in 2 different times. That's what's weird. Your new name has your last name, right? You're fine. I'm going to kick the other Lucas out of our class. Oh, don't go to ST Math. We're not doing that. And then I'm not seeing you, Lucas. That's weird. No, like your one person, your new account seems to still be fine. So you are dragging those points. First off, you're supposed to read the directions. If you don't read the directions, you won't know what's going on. You get to choose how big your house is. You get to choose how big your driveway is, and when you change the size of your driveway, it's going to allow you to own a different vehicle. So guys, if you didn't read the directions, you aren't really like getting the most out of this activity. Check it. These points are draggable. Now, I made a little note on your paper saying drop them in a nice spot. You're allowed to drop on the halfway. I would not drop on the halfway. Like, that's not a great spot because it's halfway between for each of them. I would drop it on the graph line, If I want to own a pickup truck, I got to make my driveway bigger. Trucks are bigger. If I only want to own a motorcycle, I can make my driveway real small. Like we talked about last week, you can only be so close to the street, so I can only drag my house so far up here. And I can only be so close to my neighbor, so I'm only allowed to drag my house so far towards the corner. These are called setbacks and easements. Then, once you finish that slide, we are following the directions on the handout that I gave you. So, it says, select how big you'd like your driveway and house to be. What are we supposed to do? I wonder, John. Slide 2. Before moving on, draw your house on the graph paper I provided. Weighted graph paper is paper with bold lines every so many boxes. We're using 5x5 weighted graph paper. Work with the line weights to transfer the computer image onto your graph paper. You're doing that before moving on. We're going to draw it before moving on. So I'm actually going to make my house like what I would want. I'd want a big old driveway. At this point, I don't really like mowing, so I don't need that big of a yard. I want a big house. And this is what you're doing. If you are on slide 2, the buy materials, I'm about to come around and see if your drawing is done. Because I'm going to move this off the screen so it's not recorded who is doing what. Yeah, I see some people backing away from slide 2 now. If you are not done drawing on your graph paper, the 2 people I still see on slide 2. The 1 person I still see on slide 2. Now, I guess you could look at slide 2 to do your drawing. You probably can get away with that. But... Guys, this is one of the activities that kids actually told me they really enjoyed and got them interested in. I didn't know you could do that. You're drawing the entire lot and the house. You're drawing the entire lot. You're drawing the driveway. You're drawing the house. Crap. You need to go get that for Amanda. We're going to figure that out once they tell us the scale. And do you have a scale given to you? John, do you have a scale? Well, unless you have a scale, you can't figure out how big it is, right? Anyone spot the scale? It's right here in the corner of what we're working with. 5 feet, right? 1 unit is 5 feet, according to what they tell us. All right, let's make sure that we've all drawn this the same because our lots should all be the same. I know. So if you dropped your corner where it should have been, kind of 1 in and 1 in, how long was the top? Well, guys, we can use the weights to help make our life a lot easier. How long do I know from here to here is from heavy line to heavy line when I jump across one? That's 10, right? If each of these is 5, this is why we use weighted graph paper. So we don't have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. We only ever have to count up to 5. So I go from here to the weight, to the weight, to the weight, and then how far past the last heavy line? How many boxes past the last heavy line here? 4. So the weighted line, the weighted line, the weighted line, and then 4 more. Sorry, you can't see because I scooched. There we go. So this top should in total be how long? How many units? Well, 4 plus 10 plus 4, yeah, it's 18. Please double check that your lot at the top is 18 units wide. We're going to do the same thing with the height of our lot, or the length of it. And so I already have my point. We go past the weighted line, past the weighted line, past... Oh, it's the same thing. At least I think. Is it also 18 long? Pretty sure. So everybody's lot should be relatively, and by relatively I mean it should be the same size. Should be 18 boxes by 18 boxes. Any questions on drawing the lot? All right, I will unpause. We then have to draw all the other features. So our driveway, and guys, you should label it driveway. Our house, which we might as well label house. Make sure we're drawing the entire lot, not just the house and the driveway. You got to draw the entire lot. So draw the lines around the outside. Why are you so zoomed in? I guess it's okay. So that is the corner of our lot, not the corner of your driveway. That's the corner of our property, not of our driveway. You're too small. You're too small. You didn't count all the way across. That's not 18. So here, look. Up here, we count how many squares. It is 18 across the top. If you count your squares, that's only 13. Stop way too soon. Guys, you have to do this correctly. This is a mastery assignment. Sorry I didn't say that when we started. Like, we have to learn how to do scale drawings. We have to do this correctly. If you count on your graph paper right now, and this is not 18, you are progressing. Like, this has to be how it should be. Everybody's lot is the same size. Your lot should be 18 squares wide, 18 squares tall. And it should be dropped in the same spot. Alright, so go ahead and draw the driveway and your house if you're going to decide how big they are. So do we have the activity up? What happened to our computer? We're not charged? Where's your charger? Are we going to solve problems today, or are we just going to let the world get the better of us? I got power right here. This is the best chance you got to charge your Chromebook. You can even move your desk. If you need to borrow a charger, I bet somebody will let you. We just got to make sure we return it. You have your charger? Kylie, Lucas, somebody at the same desk cluster? That would be the easiest. I don't care about that stuff. What I care about is you're sitting back there with a dead computer doing nothing without it. Come on, you can do better than that. No, you should have charged it last night. The problem is not right now. The problem is that it's November, and we need to be doing these things every day. Guys, I bet y'all remember to charge your cell phone at night. It's the same thing with your computer. There is no excuse. So now, when you go to draw your driveway and your house, you're referencing, and guys, if you haven't seen it, this little button, if you have the same button, that'll let you full screen the window. But don't zoom too far, because then you get a little confused by it when you zoom super far in. So if I'm going to draw my driveway, I'm 1 square over. Right? So I count 1 square over and then start drawing my driveway. Yours will be different. This is why I'm not keeping my drawing up. Because you gotta count squares. You can't just make it look pretty. I gotta count graph squares. Because the numbers you're going to be asked to type in have to be correct. Otherwise, I'm gonna tell your thing to move back and retry those problems. And we have to write this work down. So guys, what I meant by nice points, check it out. Since my driveway ends on one of the heavy lines, I know when I go to draw my driveway, it ends on the heavy line and goes across the heavy line to right there. My house I did not make as nice. I'm guessing most of us just need time, but if you need help, please raise your hand. Did you read the directions, John? So I'm hearing you again ask, what are we supposed to do? And the last time, we needed to read directions. Yeah, absolutely, guys. You can use highlighters, colored pencils, crayons if you really want. What's your question now? So the edge of the square is 5 feet. The problem is they don't give us area. We have to figure it out. So if you had a square that was 5 foot on one edge and 5 foot on the other edge, because of course it's a square, what's the area of a 5 foot by 5 foot? Well, yeah, that's fine. If you want to count each of the individual squares, I doubt it. I bet what we want to do is figure out how many feet that is, and just multiply the feet together, which is why they're not telling us the individual area of the squares. That's not the easier way to do it. All right, I'm going to walk everyone through this because I think some of us are getting close. Yeah, you're going to be mad at me again. Check it. When you go to answer the next part of the worksheet, because this is what you're turning in for a mastery grade, it says show work. I wonder if he wants us to write things down. Yes, he does. Show work for converting from units to feet and for finding area. So the first thing they tell me in the activity that I already pointed out to you is that 1 unit is 5 feet. Let's all write that down because we know Mr. Hudson's going to look for that. So right now, 1 unit is 5 feet. However, guys, I have a caution here. Check scale on each slide as you work through the Desmos. Your scale will change as we get to the different parts of the activity. So, for our driveway, and guys, your numbers will be different, but we're going to count how many units long it is. Mine happens to be 14. However many units your driveway is, it might be 14, it might not. We take that number and multiply with our conversion factor, which is really just saying, okay, multiply by 5, but it's so that we can end up in feet. And then I can go label on my picture that it's actually 70 feet long. But yours will probably be different. Does that make sense? Then we do the same thing for how wide the driveway is. We label that amount of feet. And then area will be the length times the width. So we're going to do the length times the width. Now, who can tell me why grass is going to be tricky? Lucas? Yeah, there's a bunch of little. So grass, we might have to break up. Or, guys, I have a different trick. Look at your picture. Isn't grass everything the house isn't? Isn't grass everything the house... Now, my picture's not great, but could we find out the entire area of the lot? Yeah. Guys, I'm going to, here on my graph paper, up here where we said let's skip this spot, lot info. You should do this with me because we all have the same lot. It was 18 units by 18 units. But what is 18 times 5? Anybody? What is it? 90. Close. That's 8 times 5. Wait, no, you're right. 90. Sorry, my brain's doing math wrong this morning, apparently. So your lot is 90 feet by 90 feet, right? Because each dimension. So your lot is 90 feet by 90 feet. So lot area. How would we calculate the lot area? Guys, I should see pencils on paper because I don't think you wrote this down already. Shout it out. Yeah, 90 times 90. The lot area, what did we say? Why did we say this matters on Friday when we talked about this? What do you have to pay based off how much property you have? Taxes. We're going to have to pay taxes. So our lot area is 8,100 feet squared.
Wait, no, it's 1,800. Because if you take off the 2 zeros, it's 9 times 9.
But what is 9 times 9?
Oops.
Whoops. Yep. 8,100 feet squared. All right, I'll unpause now because I should come around and make sure we're writing this stuff down. Yeah, guys, this is why we're not doing new homework today. I know this takes time. It will tell you if you are correct or not when you start entering in your answers. It's too long from the edge, right? Wait, or how far down? It's only 2 down. So with your lot, oh, is that the line you're erasing? So this line is missing. We might want to shift this whole thing with your weights. Your line weights are actually the houses. I don't think it's really really fast. So notice how these line weights to get up to that point, it's up 4 over 4. See how you are up 2 over 2 from the line weight? So, if we just, it's fine, we'll leave this here. But if we start down here and put it right there, so it's up 4 over 4. So now I can quickly, so I've done this activity up to 9. Yeah, every year I played with, I had other weighting graphics that I put on the worksheet for you. Had little sections of it, but that always had its own issues. Every year students show me that I'm not as good as I think I am, and they will find it. So I was trying to do that to totally avoid working out there. So that 1 year line, it didn't look like that was here. So that's our property, right? And you can kind of see it looks the same as these corners if those are the bold line, like the outer edge of the bold line. When we go 2 over, we get to the right. And then we can use the line weights to say, oh, one weighted line, like we're 1 away from weighted line, right? So if I come up here, 1 away from weighted line, I don't even have to count. Because the weighted line helps me know where I should be. This dot is 1 to the right of the weighted line. I put that there. Does that make sense? So our driveway is this. Then from these weighted lines, we're up 2 over 2. Up 2 and over 2. That corner, that corner, up 2 from the bottom, so up 2, that corner, and then over 2, over 2, over 2. So that makes sense. This is your driveway, this is your house based on what you laid out. So now let's connect all those together. What's up? Yeah. So, great question starting to happen. If we are wanting to pay to have our concrete poured, this is probably the closest color I have to concrete. Area is length times width. So if you don't have a calculator, you're probably going to want one. My driveway is just going to be 70 times 25. Whatever you get when you multiply the 2 dimensions of your driveway together. My Zoom may never come back. There we go. Yours will be different, probably. Unless somehow your driveway is the exact same size as mine. That number goes over here. Wait! Who actually read the directions? What do we need concrete for? The driveway and the house. Guys, if you're looking at grass already, you're silly. Sorry, you're silly. As soon as we do driveway and house, I'm going to have everything that is not grass. Anyone know why a house needs concrete? It's the foundation. The bottom of your house is concrete. If not, it would sink and settle and bend and do weird stuff. So we're also going to need to count how long and convert it, right? Multiply by 5 to get that converted on both edges of the house that you made. So over here on my worksheet, 10 units equals 50 feet. You are ahead of us, so just hang on to that question. We will be converting to feet first, then we multiply to find area. Convert to feet first, and then multiply to find area. But guys, then we can use our lot total to our advantage. Give me your eyes, because I want to show you exactly what I want this to look like. On your worksheet, there should be something written over here. Some math, some whatever you're doing. I don't care if it looks exactly like mine. I got the area of the driveway. But then I'm also, and guys, this is how your worksheet should look. So if you need to go back and tweak it, that's fine. Driveway plus my house. So now I'm going to calculate my house. I got my 2 dimensions. So we're going to multiply them together. That got me 3,500. Show the addition and then show that final answer for how much total concrete. But wait, keep watching. I'm going to make your life super easy. Everybody right now, pick up your pencil and in the spot that says grass, open a parenthesis and write 8,100 minus. And this is, we got a couple more minutes, but this is right about where we're going to end today. The grass is everything on my lot that is not concrete. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the entire lot area, right? We calculated that's our lot area. Take away whatever you get for concrete. Don't write this down unless somehow you have the exact same numbers as me. So whatever you got up here, we're going to subtract that away. And that will tell us how much grass we need. Because it's literally everything that's not concrete. Our lot is either getting concrete or it's getting grass seed. Does that make sense? Sweet, raise your hand if it doesn't. We're going to pick this up tomorrow and make sure that we're not done yet. We're going to pick this up tomorrow and make sure that we all have concrete and grass. So actually, if you do not have a correct concrete and a correct grass, that is your homework. But if you don't get it done, I'm going to help you do it tomorrow. But you should try to get it done today. During AO or during extensions. Now, if you select too much, if you type in too much, it shows you. This is what I love about Desmos. If I say, I'll buy extra, I'm going to get 5,500. Extra doesn't matter.
It tells you that you have too much.
I don't know what I'm going to get here, but I think it's going to be approximately 3,000. When I try check it, buy materials, it shows me that I have overage. I have too much grass and too much concrete. They had extra stuff they had to put some. That's not good. That's not good. So I need to reset this and try again. Okay, I'll tweak this down to the number that I know that I needed, but I still haven't done my math for my grass. I'm just whatever. Just trying it, seeing what happens. I still have I should probably do some math. You can do this as many times as you want. It doesn't matter how many times you click check and reset. But I would do math and save yourself time. Questions. Most of us are still here on slide 2. Right? Most of us are still here on slide 2. If you're still on slide 1, you should probably call me over and have me help you. So I'm going to check who that is. You're probably just going to be able to do all your thing. That's probably why we're still on slide 1. Does this make a bit more sense now? Yeah, you don't have to. If you like them not being stapled, just make sure they get clipped into a binder. Oh, no, but you're just slightly off on the line weights. I may redraw this for you. Like, I might do it for you. Here's why. and it doesn't right now because I think heavy lines are supposed to start like here, or our lines are supposed to start here, and you started it on the heavy line of the picture. You see how we're not away from the heavy line? Yeah. So I'm actually going to take one of these, draw on it, and then make a piece of it with like the slot. So then you'll still be able to draw the inside of your house, but I'm going to make a long. So it is probably time that we gotta head out to, where are you going? Science! Because today, those classes are flip-flopped. So you are heading to science. Hey, clip this in your binder. Do not lose it. We're turning it in. It's important.